In this video, we're going to talk about the top 10 best ways to increase your net worth. But before starting, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for future updates. Increasing your net worth has various advantages that go beyond bragging rights. Raising your net worth, for example, can help you retire years sooner. It also leads to financial stability, allowing you to focus on the things that matter most in life rather than money. While building your net worth may appear difficult, it doesn't have to be. True, it will certainly take years rather than weeks to implement the necessary mechanisms, but it's not impossible. Following some or all of these methods will help you boost your net worth and achieve your financial objectives. Number 10, owning your primary residence. Homeownership is one of the most prevalent ways for people to significantly enhance their net worth. Instead of a standard 30-year mortgage, choose a 15 or 20-year term to pay it off faster and accumulate a considerable asset while saving money on interest. If you decide to sell your property after paying it off, capital gains are tax-free up to $500,000 if you are married, filing jointly. In some high-cost urban regions, renting may have more financial sense than buying, depending on whether the cost of ownership is affordable in relation to total living expenses. It makes sense to invest in preserving your home because it is likely one of your major possessions. When it comes time to sell your home, things like repairing your roof, cleaning your gutters, and regularly servicing your HVAC system can help you earn a greater return. Neglecting your house, on the other hand, may allow potential purchasers to exploit the lack of maintenance as a bargaining chip, leaving you with less money in the end. Number 9, private lending. Bringing someone else's bank gives you the opportunity to earn passive income and increase your net worth. Private loans, notes, and trust deeds are investments in which you lend money to private individuals or businesses in exchange for a return on your investment. You'll get a steady rate of return on these investments regardless of whether the underlying asset's value rises or falls, which translates into funds you may reinvest to grow your wealth. To protect your interests, make sure you understand the ins and outs of a potential investment by seeking guidance from a seasoned professional, such as a broker, company, or regulated and fully licensed partner. Number 8, education. You may not realize it, but your educational credentials are one of your most valuable assets. Choosing to invest in your own education in order to qualify for a better job or a promotion may pay off handsomely in the long run. Your education doesn't have to finish when you graduate with a bachelor's degree. You could take up a student loan from a credit union if it offers in-school student loan alternatives and parent loan options through Sallie Mae Bank or a lender partner to help pay for the cost of continuing education classes or certifications. Consider this if you're still not convinced. With a 2% return savings account, you'd have to invest $300,000 before seeing $6,000 in extra income, an amount that can come much more rapidly from a promotion or annual increase earned as a result of additional education. Number 7, increase your salary. Increasing your pay is easier said than done, especially if your local work market isn't particularly strong. However, there is only so much financial optimization you can do if you want to enhance your net worth. If you've already done everything else on the list, raising your earnings may be the most effective strategy to increase your net worth. However, you don't have to start a side business or change occupations to boost your earnings. The first step is to ask for a promotion at your existing position. If one is available, you may make a strong case for yourself by citing specific accomplishments at work over the past year. You may also look at wage ranges from your profession in your area. Finally, you can improve your value by learning a new skill or earning industry qualifications. Number 6, keep your cars for as long as possible. If you're like the majority of Americans, you presumably live somewhere where driving is a daily requirement. As a result, having a car is essential. Cars, on the other hand, are a depreciating asset. You surely have heard this before. As you drive off the dealer's lot, your automobile loses 10% of its worth just like that. That may be an exaggeration, but according to Carfax data, they lose more than 10% of their value in the first month. To put it another way, if you buy a new car every few years, you are constantly subjected to rapid depreciation. Keeping cars for longer periods of time helps you break the cycle. Of course, all automobiles have a limited usable life. They become more expensive to maintain at some point than the money saved by avoiding excessive deterioration. It's difficult to say when you've reached that point, but if you're spending a lot of money on repairs like repairing the transmission, it could be time to upgrade. Number 5, renegotiate consolidate loans. In the long term, renegotiating or consolidating your loans can save you a lot of money. Because you had bad or no credit when you first took out the loan, you may have been saddled with a higher interest rate. However, if you've been making on-time payments and or credit score has improved, you may be eligible to refinance your loans at a cheaper interest rate. Remember that this isn't always the greatest option. A private lender, for example, is one option for refinancing federal student loans. However, you may lose some consumer safeguards as a result, so refinancing may not be the best decision in such a situation. Whether refinancing is the best option for you is determined on your specific set of circumstances. Number 4, save for emergencies. Having an emergency fund can help you increase your net worth, albeit in a roundabout way. For example, you might save $5,000 in an emergency fund over the course of a few years, but it's not the $5,000 that makes the difference. The most significant advantage is the ability to escape the high interest debt discussed before. You never know when you'll need to replace your refrigerator or go to the hospital on short notice. You may be compelled to place these expenses on credit cards or take on other forms of high-interest debt if you don't have an emergency fund. This can result in a never-ending cycle of interest payments, making a big dent in your net worth. Having an emergency fund can help you break that trend and boost your net worth. Number 3, pay off high-interest debt. Debt with a high interest rate might drastically limit your potential to grow your wealth. In fact, millions of Americans face this problem with a total debt of more than $1 trillion in personal loans and credit card debt. It's not simple to pay off these debts, but it's necessary if you want to enhance your net worth. If you have a large debt with an annual interest rate of more than 10%, you don't have to pay it off completely at once. When it comes to credit cards, though, paying the minimum will keep you in debt for years and cost you hundreds of dollars in interest. First and foremost, pay whatever you can above and beyond the minimal amount. This can lower your interest payments, which can have a cascading effect. You can also pay off your debt using a debt snowball or debt avalanche method. Number 2, trim your expenses. While cutting costs isn't always enjoyable, it can be a very effective strategy to boost your net worth. Using budgeting software or an app is one approach to cut your costs. Saving money by concentrating on the big 3 of housing, transportation, and food can be very beneficial. It's not always possible to lower your home expenditures, especially if you have a family to consider. Reduced transportation and food costs, on the other hand, may be more practical. Buying food in bulk and eating out less frequently, for example, can save you hundreds of dollars every month. Number 1, boost your retirement contributions. Increasing your retirement contributions is a great method to increase your net worth, but most people don't do so to their full potential. For example, in 2022, the 401k contribution limit is $20,500 or $27,000 for individuals over 50. You already have one way to raise your retirement contributions if you have lowered your costs as described in the next step. Increasing your retirement account contributions has a variety of advantages. Many of these accounts are tax-deferred and many include employer matching. If you haven't already, you should boost your contributions up to the limit of your employer's match. This is a simple method for doubling your money. However, because of the favorable tax status of retirement accounts, it's usually a good idea to contribute as much as possible to them before investing elsewhere, such as in a taxable brokerage account. Bottom line, increasing your net worth can seem challenging, but it doesn't have to be. If you follow the steps mentioned here, you'll be able to find that saving money becomes easier than you would expect. And when you calculate your net worth, that number could be far higher than you ever thought possible. So what do you think about our video? Let us know in the comment box below. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel for future updates.